Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video I want to show you the results of the Legion test that I just finished. So Legion is, in my opinion, one of the classic, very simple strategies. You just enter the map, you pop the Legion, kill a ton of monsters and get insane loot. And it can be done on a low budget, or you can scale it up with better scarabs and a lot of other stuff. But the main reason why I decided to try out the strategy is the prices of the emblems. So if you look at the prices of Marakev emblem, they go right now for 150C. And if you look the amount of the emblems available, there isn't that many of them on trade. And in fact, most people will just sell them in set. So emblem of each type, so 5 emblems for around 2.5x, and people will just sell them on TFT. So if you sell them this way, you can actually make even more money than from selling them separately. And when you look at the prices of Templar, they are actually very similar in price. You can sell them for up to like 140C. Unfortunately, Val go for only 25C, still decent but not that much, and Karui go for around 10, 11C, and the same for the Eternal. So as you can see, the two most important emblems are Marakev and Templar. So the key point of this strategy is going for these two watchstones. Legion encounters in area have up to 100% increased chance to include Templar army or Marakev. So I decided to go for 2 Marakev and 2 Templar. You can probably go for any combination, maybe go for 3 Marakev, 1 Templar, or just 4 Marakev. It's up to you, but I decided to go for 2 Marakev and 2 Templar ones. Also, what I wanted to test out is the investment into this strategy. So I did 2 tests, one with 100 maps where I went for the Polish Legion Scarab, and on top of that map device mod 6 chaos for Legion. And the second one I did 52 maps, so less maps, but I went for the Gilded Legion Scarab, which right now go for around 15C, and Polish, by the way, goes for around 5C, so 3 times as much. But the Legion is gonna be accompanied by the General, so both of the Legion armies are gonna have General. And on top of that, I went for the Watchstones, which gives 1 additional Legion. But you only have 4 uses because of the Enduring Influence. When people are rolling the Watchstones with Sextant, they will have 4 uses, so you can buy Watchstones like that for 90 chaos. So each Legion that you get from the Watchstone costs around 22C. So with the cheaper strategy, I was getting 1 Legion from Polish Legion Scarab, second one from the map device, and still you have chance to get the third one just naturally or just from Glenna from the small passive, so total 9% chance. And with the higher investment strat, I was getting 1 again from the Scarab, second one from the Watchstone, and third one from the map device. With smaller investment I was getting 2, with higher I was getting 3, with a chance for additional one. In terms of the passives, obviously I went for the Glenna because that's the only region that has any Atlas passives for the Legion. But unfortunately they are not really that great. The first one is face to face, which will give you better chance to have generals. And if you have 1 general, you have the second one for the opposite army. But if you are using the Gilded Legion Scarab, this actually doesn't do anything because both of the legions are gonna have general anyway. The second one is Protracted Battle, which also doesn't really do anything. it gives you just more time to kill the Legion monsters. So if your build is not that great with killing Legion, it is fine, but it doesn't actually give you any loot. The only really nice one is high value target, which will give you 3 additional sergeants, and sergeants have a better chance to have the rewards. So this is a nice one, and also again smaller ones will give you 9% chance for additional Legion encounter. And my map of choice was the park, because there isn't actually that many good maps in this area, and for Legion you obviously want as open maps as possible, and the best ones in my opinion are Tropical Island and Park. But Tropical Island is pretty expensive right now because this is the map that people are farming Delirium in, so it goes for a little bit more. Park goes for only 4C, and it also is pretty open, so I decided to go for this one. And the way I was rolling my map in both tests, I was using 4 chisels for 20% quantity, 20% quality, then alchemy, and I was checking the quantity for at least 70%, and obviously I was checking for the bad mods, and if I didn't see any, I would also val them up. And sometimes it would turn into Val Temple, so I would have to do it again. Okay, so let me roll it one more time. This one is nice. This one I actually would not val because it has already a nice quantity, so I would just run it like that. So I'm gonna do the cheaper version of the strategy because I don't want to make the video too long. So again, Polish Legion Scarab map and Legion from map device. And when I was doing the more expensive version, I was removing 1 Templar Wardstone to put the unique one in. So it was looking like that. So now let me show you the example map. So I'm just searching for the Legion, and on my way picking up some loot. Here's the first one. Let's see if there is a general, and there are both of the generals. So here's number 1. And here's number 2. So unfortunately both of them are not Templar or the Marakev. So my build is unfortunately not the best at clearing Legion. As you could see, I had to spend a decent amount of time to clear off all of the monsters. There are definitely much better builds like Tornado Shot, especially builds with Headhunter, because of all of the rare monsters that you can find in Legion, but I would rate this build in terms of clearing the Legion like 8 out of 10, so it is still pretty nice. And when it comes to picking up the like a bad splinters, I would always pick up the stacks, so at least 2 in one, and I still was picking up a single splinters if they were like not really out of my way, and especially if I was like waiting for loot to drop from the boss or from the chests, then I would also in the meantime pick up the small splinters. Okay, so this one has the Marakev, so I'm gonna get some nice splinters, and sometimes the boss actually appears invisible. Don't know if it's it happened this time. We will see, I guess. Oh right, I forgot, it's not the gilded one, so it's not guaranteed that the boss will appear. But still, there's a lot of the Marca splinters. So I already killed the boss. I cleared 2 legions that are guaranteed. So I would still run around and check for the third one that could appear randomly. Just really quickly. And it looks like there is no third one. So now, oh, there is a third one. Okay, so this time I got lucky and I actually got the third one that is not guaranteed, and it also has a boss. That one was the Templar, and this is Karui. So a decent one. Let's kill the boss. So this is actually the hardest boss. Like 90% of my death during this strategy came from this boss and most of the time this ability. It is decently hard to avoid, especially if you are lazy like me. Okay, so let's quickly clear it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So from this map, let me just quickly kill this boss. Okay. So that's it. So from this map I got 20 Marakev, 20 Templar, 40 Karui and 40 Val, and not a single one from the Eternal, and quite a lot of other loot, especially incubators. Okay, so now let's look at the results. So these are the results of the first test, so the one with polished scarabs and 100 maps. So as you can see, I also have quite a lot of incubators left, and I was using them while I was running the maps, and I still have a ton of them left. So you can get even more profit after you use all of them during some kind of different strategies. And also one mistake that I did is I didn't unlock my heist trinket slot, because you can also use your incubators on the trinkets, so you can use more of them. And I got a bit lucky. I got 1 Empower, 1 Enhance and 1 Void Battery. But I actually was extremely unlucky with Awakeners in both tests, because I only dropped 1 Warstone and 1 Gem, which is worth like 1 Exalt. And in second test I don't think I did drop anything, so quite unlucky with Awakeners. And here is the rest of the loot, just mostly maps. And here are all of the emblems. So as you can see, the emblem that I got the most is the Templar. So it might actually be a good idea to go for 3 Marakev and 1 Templar if you want to have like a nice amount of all of the emblems. And here are the results of the second test. So 52 maps with Gilded Scarab and the Warstone. So overall less loot. Like here I got half of the 2 quad tabs, and here is only 1 and some additional maps. And again, only 1 Warstone, nothing too crazy from Awakener. And here are all of the emblems. So again, this is only 52 maps, and as you can see, I got a lot more emblems, especially the Marakev from the second test. But obviously this comes with higher investment, so I had to pay for these additional emblems. So now let's look at the actual results in the spreadsheet. So here is the first test. So 100 maps, 100 scarabs. I was pricing them at 5C. I actually was buying them at 4C, but I price checked them right now and price went up by 1 chaos. For rolling them up, because I was valuing them, chiseling and so on, I did count 2C per map device, 6 chaos. So it took me 9 hours to do this test, so cost in total was 1.7k. All the loot is 3.7k. Emblems 4.1k, so definitely more loot from the emblem than from just overall everything else. In total almost 8,000 chaos, so profit was 42 exalts in 9 hours, so almost 5 exalts per hour. And again, like I mentioned, I was quite unlucky with Awakeners, and my build is not the best build for the Legion, so I would say getting 5x, even 6x per hour with this strategy is not out of the question. And here is with Gilded Scarabs, so bigger investment. Again, 52 maps, that's because of the amount of users on the Watchstones. I could go either for 48 or 52, so I decided to go for 52. Gilded Scarabs did cost 15C, and I also was using 13 Watchstones, and they cost 90C each. So in total I did spend 2.5k for 52 maps, where here I did spend 1.7k for 100 maps, and it took me only 5 hours to do this test. So the loot, obviously I got a little bit less loot because less maps, but in Emblems I actually made more money, and in total I did make 37x, so obviously a bit less than from the 100 maps because of the amount of maps. But if you look at the profit per hour, because it took me less maps and less time, it is 7.6 exalts per hour, which is actually a very good amount. And again, because I was quite unlucky with Awakeners, you can definitely push it for like 8x, maybe even more. And one thing I didn't include in this test is also the Watchstones that are basically leftovers. Because, for example, this one you can't really do anything with it because it only has one uses, but something like this, you can resell it, obviously not for the full price, but it still has 7 uses. Like this one, for example, has 8, this one has 10, or you can use them on your own with the Awakened Sextants to get some things for some strategies. So in the end you are not really using 90c per Watchstone, it's more like 70, maybe 50, depending on what you're gonna do with the leftover Watchstones. So it's definitely a pretty nice strategy. I did not expect this good result with high investment. I was wondering if the Watchstones are actually worth it, but it turns out they are definitely worth it. If you look at the difference between first and the second test, obviously we would have to also do like a third test just with Gilded Scarabs without the Watchstones to see if they are actually worth it. But I think they are, because of the fact that the Gilded Legion Scarabs is gonna give you these 2 additional bosses, which are gonna appear on all of the Legion encounters. So using Watchstone with Gilded Legion Scarabs is definitely worth it. Also, if you are wondering if Winged Scarabs are worth it, let me quickly look at the prices of them. They go for around 29-30c. So in my opinion they are worth it. They give you 1 additional Scarab, but the issue with them is buying them. You would have to buy them one by one, where Gilded you can buy in bulk. So if you have patience to buy them, I would go for them, but overall I would just stick with Gilded ones. So that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.